Right, so I'm going to show you an SSL redirect and a backdoor here. So what we'll do is we'll download this program here, and we should see that it's a program that's unfortunately full of backdoor programs in it. Okay, so we've downloaded that one. So now we'll just give it a try. We'll just run it. What I'll do is I'll start up Wireshark so we can actually capture all the things that are happening with it. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and start it then. Okay, we're going to install now. Okay, let's have a look at our connections just now. So I've taken a snapshot of this instance, so I'll just ping it back at the very end. Okay, so that's our connections just now. Okay, so we've got some HTTP connections there. Not too much other things going on there. So we'll just install that. Okay, just takes a little minute, and we'll just keep our Wireshark trace running just to see what's going on. Okay, so we'll just agree to everything here. We'll accept that one. Okay, so the player's just installing now, and we'll see really what's happening in a minute. So the player itself is probably fine, but unfortunately it's been bundled with a whole lot of other things, including an SSL redirect, and we'll see that hopefully in a little minute. Okay, so it's installing. That's fine. Okay. Okay, so got a crash already. No, not good. Okay, so you can see it's changed our search engine. That's not really a major problem. We'll be able to fix that one a little bit later. Okay, so here's the program that we wanted, and that's fine. Oops, now something's happening here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll just get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that. Okay, so that's us all installed, but unfortunately we're getting other programs coming in too. We've got some tune-up stuff there, and obviously we just we clicked ahead, but obviously you wouldn't do that. You just make sure that you weren't getting all this installed. Okay, don't want that. Let's quit. Okay, let's see how we're getting on. So that's fine. Okay, so we're nearly there. We'll just skip that. Okay, we've got this other one here. Strange. Okay, so now we find there's a whole lot of connections here, HTTP connections that we can actually see. Lots of them onto different addresses, different HTTP connections. Here we go. Lots coming through there. Lots of HTTPS things to different addresses. so we've got Skype. Is it really Skype? We hope it's Skype. And we'll just quit that one. Then, okay, so here we are. Okay, so let's go to Google. Okay, so everything looks okay just now. And let's look for some free software. Okay, we're still okay. Looks like, so we've still got our HTTPS. So what we'll do is we'll just quit. Okay, and we'll start up an Internet Explorer. And then we get this. Okay, so something's happening here. Okay, so what we should find is there's a whole lot of things going on in the background here. Now we'll reopen Firefox, see how we're getting on. And we'll get some free software again. Aha, what happened there? Oh dear, look, my lovely HTTPS has stopped. Something has went wrong here. So what we actually see is that this is now, so this is part of the web page. We won't be able to see the actual code in here, but you actually see that this has now been added to the actual web page, even though we went to Google. So we can see these adverts are coming through from there, and this is meant to be Google. So obviously what's happened is that the code has been updated through some sort of proxy running on the machine from there, and it's difficult to see from the code that has actually been done. But you can actually see here's the adverts coming through, and it's actually modified our web page. Let's see if what we get with our Internet Explorer. Okay, it doesn't seem to have modified that one, but you can see that Firefox has definitely been modified there. Okay, so then when we look at our connections that we have, there we go. So we've got a connection there to hosted by. We have HTTPS connections, a whole lot of them. Look at all these. Look. There. Look at all these connections that are being created to our backdoor there. Whole lot of connections, and so we did some sort of lookup on that. So the ones that are saying established are actually ones which are being used for a connection. Let's try again. Whole lot of connections. Okay, so this is the host name here. Okay, so we can't even find what that address is. So let's have a look here. And let's find our IP address so that we can filter the traffic. So it's 10.200.0.205. Okay, so we'll just load up. So I think what we'll do is we'll just quit that, because there are so many connections going on just now, and we'll actually have a look at the Wireshark trace. Okay, so here we are. And if we actually search for the 443 port, let's see what we get. Okay, so look at all the connections that were made there. Okay, so these are all the secure connections that were created purely from that one connection that we had. So if we look a little bit later on, we actually see that there's a connection going on there. There's a certificate coming through. From there. Obviously, if it's a secure connection, then it's almost impossible for us to see what the contents are within it. But let's see if we can do a lookup on that address there. And you see there's nothing there, okay, because it's not really a registered domain at all. If we go to that address, let's see what we find. Nothing. Okay, so it's creating a connection to a site that we can't actually see what it is. And there's a whole lot of other connections. There's a certificate coming through. And let's see what that certificate actually is. Okay, so that's the Google certificate, so that's okay. And we can see that one. But there are a whole lot of other connections that are actually happening with inside there that's actually very difficult for us to trace from there. We'll just try and maybe capture another one. Okay, so there's our Yahoo certificate coming through there. And so on. Okay, so this has shown really how the backdoor programs can actually install onto your machine.